What would happen if the most powerful solar storm ever recorded hit us today? Now there's a question that could keep you up at night. To grapple with its implications, we first need to understand what solar storms are. Born from the sun's volatile nature, these storms are essentially torrents of high-energy particles and magnetic fields hurtling through space. They're like a tempest in the cosmic sea, and when they reach Earth, they can cause quite a stir. The granddaddy of them all, the Carrington Event, was such a storm. Named after Richard Carrington, the British astronomer who first observed it, this event stands as the most powerful solar storm in our recorded history. It happened in the late summer of 1859, in a world that was just beginning to understand electricity. But what exactly unfolded during the Carrington Event? Let's turn back the clock to the late summer of 1859. It was the 1st of September, 1859, a day like any other, until the sky caught fire. Imagine waking up to a typical morning, sipping your coffee, only to glance out your window and find the sky ablaze. This was the reality for English solar astronomer Richard Carrington on that fateful day. While conducting his daily sunspot observations, Carrington was taken aback by the sight of an unusually large solar flare, a sight so striking that he took the time to sketch it. Little did he know this was the first warning sign of what would become the most powerful solar storm in recorded history. Within hours, the effects of this solar eruption were felt across the globe. The northern and southern lights, typically confined to the polar regions, were seen as far south as the Caribbean and as far north as Queensland, Australia. The sky was alight with brilliant, vivid colors, an awe-inspiring spectacle that left those who witnessed it in absolute awe. Yet the beauty of this celestial event belied its disruptive power. The telegraph systems, the cutting-edge technology of the time, went haywire. Sparks flew from telegraph machines, setting papers on fire, while operators received shocks from the equipment they handled daily. Some telegraph systems continued to function, even after being disconnected from their power sources, driven by the invisible force of the solar storm. The general public reacted with a mix of awe and fear. Some saw the lights as a sign of the end times, a celestial warning of the imminent apocalypse. Others reveled in the beauty of the phenomenon, captivated by the ethereal lights that danced across the sky. And then, just as suddenly as it began, the storm subsided. The lights faded, the telegraph systems returned to normal, and the sky returned to its usual blue. The world was left in the aftermath of a celestial spectacle like no other, forever marked by the day the sky caught fire. As quickly as it began, the storm abated, leaving in its wake a world that had experienced a celestial phenomenon like no other. In the aftermath of the Carrington Event, the world was left in awe and bewilderment. This solar storm of the century was a wake-up call, particularly for the operators of the telegraph system, the Victorian Internet, which suffered widespread disruptions and even fires. The scientific community, too, was stirred into action. It was the first time they had witnessed such a dramatic interaction between the sun and our planet. This event was a game-changer, sparking a revolution in our understanding of the sun and its potential to disrupt life as we know it. The Carrington Event was the catalyst that led to the recognition of space weather as a significant field of study. It underscored the importance of understanding how solar activity influences the Earth's magnetic field, affecting not only our planet but our technology as well. Fast forward to today, and we find ourselves far more vulnerable to such an event than our 19th century predecessors. Imagine a day where your smartphone is nothing more than a paperweight, where the internet as we know it ceases to exist. This might sound like a plot from a dystopian novel, but it's a plausible scenario if a solar superstorm similar to the Carrington Event of 1859 were to strike today. In our modern world, we are heavily reliant on technology. From the alarm clock that wakes us up, the GPS that guides us, the smartphone that keeps us connected, to the power grid that lights our homes and powers our industries. But what if all these were abruptly taken away? A solar superstorm of the magnitude of the Carrington Event could cause widespread electrical and communication system failures. Satellites could be knocked out, disrupting everything from weather forecasts to GPS systems. The power grid could fail, plunging entire cities, even countries, into darkness. This could last from a few hours to several days or even weeks. Imagine the chaos. No electricity means no refrigeration, putting our food supply at risk. No internet means no online banking, no online shopping, no social media. Hospitals reliant on electricity for life-saving treatments would be at risk. And let's not forget the economic impact. The cost of such a blackout could run into trillions of dollars globally. And yet, the threat is not just to our gadgets or our wallets. There's a deeper, more profound implication. Our society, our way of life, is intricately woven with technology. A sudden and prolonged disruption could lead to societal unrest, as seen during smaller blackouts in the past. However, it's important to remember that this isn't a prophecy of inevitable doom, it's a call to action. We can and we must prepare for such an event. Scientists are working on ways to predict solar storms, and engineers are developing technologies to shield our infrastructure. But all is not doom and gloom. There are measures we can take to safeguard our technology against such an event. Because the best way to predict the future, as they say, is to create it. As we venture deeper into the space age, our understanding and preparation for solar superstorms must also progress. The importance of space weather forecasting is akin to having a trusted weatherman for the cosmos. It enables us to anticipate these celestial tempests and brace ourselves for their impact. We're not just sitting on our hands, though. Steps are being taken to better predict and prepare for such events. Scientists and researchers around the globe are working tirelessly, making advancements in technology to shield our electrical and communication systems from the wrath of the sun. From developing robust satellite systems to constructing resilient power grids, humanity is gearing up for the next big solar showdown. And while we're still in the early stages of this cosmic chess match, we're learning, we're evolving, and we're preparing. While we can't prevent a solar superstorm, with the right preparation, we can ensure we're not left in the dark.